Hey y'all.
What up? We are live.
Live.
And immediately Sasha.
Immediately Sasha.
That's my phone, you know.
Now she back.
That's,
Now she back. We
Joy
back.
SafeWord.
That's that timeout. That's that screen lock. All right, everybody, what's up? This is SafeWord. Pa, 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 pa.
Wow. Wow.
Hey.
All right. This is your platform for teaching, learning, and opening the eyes of our audience to the world of kink, BDSM, and relationships. At this point, I don't know where that came from, but we're rolling with it.
It came from Miss Sasha, but we like it. We take deep dives and we say relationships, you know.
It's fun. It keeps everything animated. So you know who it is. I'm your host, Kane Marcos.
And I am your other host, Aurora Storm.
And I'm your co-host, Miss Sasha Lencher.
Ta-ta-ta. So if you watched our last video, then you get an idea of what tonight's topic is. But here's the deal. If you didn't, I mean, what are you doing? Are you learning a foreign language? You know, spending that extra time learning an instrument? Or I don't know, you know, maybe I really hope you're learning how to become a more attentive lover. But if not, you know, you can always join SafeWord, watch our videos and our lives, and all of our information for business inquiries and the furthermore will be in the description box below. So check it out.
But we know it's not the last one that you said. So since you're here, you better go ahead and like and subscribe for all your latest educational content on kink, BDSM, and relationships.
Can we miss you? Come on, relationship. Give us one.
I had something in my hand. Sorry, I was trying to set it down. Shit.
All right. So before we get started, we have to say hello to our A1. Since day one, he rocks with us on all of our lives and all of our videos. And, you know, he's just everywhere, you know, in our comment sections and, you know, just everywhere. So we have to say hello to our fan favorite. So crew, ready for me? 1, 2, 3. Let's say hello.
What up, Roy? You're my boy, Blue.
Right. So here's the deal. If you want your shout out, like Mr. Roy gets his shout out every freaking Friday live, all you gotta do is comment, like, subscribe, tell a friend, tell a neighbor. You know, this is why we're here. So yeah, if you landed here and you have no idea what the heck here is, well, this is SafeWord. And here on SafeWord, we have a SafeWord of the day. We use this SafeWord to stop, halt, and completely put a pause on all topic and conversation. So SafeWord crew, what we like to let everyone know what the SafeWord of the day is. If you don't know, it's right here on the board. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Combo. So combo is the SafeWord of the day. We use the SafeWord to stop it. But sometimes, because we use Zoom here at SafeWord, it has audio issues. So if we're saying the safe word of the day and no one's shutting up, what do we do, crew? What do we do? How? We have that signal. We throw that hand signal up. Make sure that you're saying the safe word of the day, which is combo, so that everybody knows what it is. All right, Mr. Kane, do we have Miss Sasha?
Hot topics.
Woo! All right. And a snort. Love it.
Gotta set it off.
And 1.
Oh, and 1. Oh, we're counting again. We're counting
and
at 1.
We count every time. Y'all don't know. I'm keeping a tally every single time. Just
well,
it won't be a show that I don't get the poop end of the stick. Never.
That's the shit end of the stick. Calm down.
As long as you don't make us cry today, we'll be okay.
Wait, we should play this game a little bit differently though, because Mr. Kane's keeping a tally. I think Miss Sasha, because you're the other snorter, right, Mr. Kane? I think Miss Sasha should be able to get 10 points for 1 snort out of Kane because he holds that shit back.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. We'll domino roll that. Okay.
We'll roll my comedy sleeves up today.
All right, go ahead, Mr. K. What we got?
I don't know. I'm scared now. Sasha said she's gonna try.
Hey now.
I'm sorry. I gotta.
Well, I must do good even when I don't. So it's okay. That's fine. I will try today though.
All right. So nothing too heavy in the hot topics. Nothing sad. No bad news. Well, unless you live in the UK.
Okay. Well.
So like, here's how my hot topics go. Like I, have a couple of search places where, there's like my go-to, find some articles, read through that, bring you guys some info. a lot of them come from like overseas, Europe, places like that, where, it's just a little bit easier to find that kind of information. But I found an article that kind of amused me just because of the name of it. And I'll probably catch a lot of flack, for being insensitive to this. But I mean, after I tell you guys what the name of it is, to let me know if you guys have a, just an easy time keeping a straight face through this. Okay. But there's a rise of a sexually transmitted superbug coming up in the UK.
A superbug? Wait.
Yeah. Well, they call it a superbug because it's drug resistant. So.
Okay. I was like, I'm thinking, bugs crawl.
No, like a virus. Good Lord.
My head.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a sexually transmitted cockroach running around.
Right.
Wow.
I didn't know. I was waiting for it.
I have so many comments, but they're like Patreon level.
Okay. Well,
so if you want to hear those comments, you have to join our Patreon where we do an extra live.
I will make a list. All right, but so this sexually transmitted super virus that's drug resistant is called Shigella.
Shigella.
Shigella. Shigella. I don't know.
Shigella.
That sounds like some slang from the Bay Area. For Shigella.
Well, it almost sounds like kind of made up. I'd like to know the origin of it. Like I said, I just found the article where it said Shigella is on the rise, and I'm like, what the hell is this now? Like, there's something I don't know about.
Yeah, we already got COVID.
Right. What is this superbug?
It's kind of just like a gut infection. It kind of is similar to food poisoning. So all of those fun symptoms you get with food poisoning is what's going on with this. Says, if you have symptoms of food poisoning that go on for like 4 days or more than likely you've come across this STD. So be on the lookout, use protection, especially if you're traveling overseas in the UK area. Just wrap it, no glove, no love.
Wrap it up, B.
Wrap that up, B. Wrap it up, B.
Wrap it up, B.
All right. So then the other article that I got today is the most Pornhub obsessed cities. So these articles come out like mad, at least once a month, if not every 2 weeks. There's always an article about, like what cities, what countries, what places are, like
we talked about this before.
With what.
Yeah, it's super interesting. I love these ones.
All right, so you guys want to take a guess to, these are cities, not states, not provinces, not countries, cities. So specific cities around the world.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Around the world.
All right. So who do you guys think number one is? It's actually a tie. So you guys got double the chances of getting it right.
Hong Kong?
Did not make the top 5.
Oh, okay. Cities.
Derry.
Milan actually came in 3rd.
Okay.
I said Derry. Ireland.
No.
I can't. No. What? Have her say that again. Wait. What was it? What did you say?
Derry.
Oh, okay. And
no.
You said no. No. Okay. Okay. Cities. Hold on. Mykonos.
No.
Dubai.
Surprisingly not in the top 5.
Belize.
I'm surprised.
Nope. You're going with a lot of
Mary.
I don't know towns like cities in Taiwan. I don't know. All
right, so number 1, the tie was London and Paris came in for number 1. Yes.
Oh, I would have never gotten that. I was like,
no, I was gonna say London for some reason, but I didn't.
So London and Paris came in with over 4,090,000 views a month. So number 2 is New York with 3.35 million views a month.
Hey now.
And like Miss Aurora pointed out, Milan was number 3. 4 was Sydney, Australia. 5th was Rome, and 6th was Houston.
All right, Houston. All right, H-Town. They're coming with your porno ratings.
So I don't know if that's if that's just based on like population or just frequency.
Dallas been popping lately in more ways than one, so I think it's frequency. Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean,
I'm surprised Miami or something like that ain't on there.
Right. I was thinking like some of those were going to be too. And the title of the article was like, yo, Pornhub reveals most frequently viewed cities in the world. And surprisingly, like the US isn't number one. I was like, well, that's a little messed up. I mean,
So just to add on, Roy said Bangkok, and I didn't see it till now, but he said Bangkok.
I would have put that on the list. That would have been like my first in the top 3 guesses.
Right?
Any guy writing this list would have put
Like Bangkok,
first,
Frankfurt.
Biggest city on porn is Bangkok.
Like that place just has to live on it. Like, hey, we have a reputation to uphold.
All right, so we got our cities of Pornhub watchers, right? Like that was like
Yep, and that actually wraps it up for my hot topics. Nothing too much going on. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well,
it was quiet on the sexual front. Revolution this month.
You know, honestly, there wasn't as much, like people messing up. I think, if everybody's been tuning into SafeWord, it's just, hey, don't put USB cords up there.
And watch out for hot sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everybody kind of took a couple pointers and used a little bit more common sense than usual. I felt a disturbance in.
People have been watching SafeWord. Look at it.
I know.
Look at the
right,
I'm telling you,
educated.
it's sliding in there somewhere.
I mean, we did manage to, unleash a sexually transmitted super virus, but other than that, I mean, I think we're doing pretty good.
We're doing pretty good, just all the way around.
All right.
All right.
Together. Yeah.
So we got a lot to talk about tonight. All right. So without further ado, let's discuss something that we haven't really been addressing at all on this whole topic of, relationships and kink, right? So how do we introduce kinks and fetishes into our relationships, right? You can look online and you can find a ton of forums. And there's posts from educators, coaches, NMC coaches, relationship experts, therapists, it's oversaturated. But after a while, I realized a lot of them are missing something that's actually pretty freaking important. So I did a lot of research and found out some of the best information, in my opinion, is to help others with this specifically is we always say to get the conversation out early, and the sooner the better. And that is still something we stand by, right? To have that conversation. I mean, it's just something that we just keep repeating throughout every freaking episode.
We always say that. Get it out of the way, sooner the better.
I mean, and I feel like we're beating a dead horse, but it's really the basis of every relationship is you need to have some basis of communication or things don't flow, right? But once the conversation gets started, I mean, how do you let your partner know that you're into a kink? How do you let them know that, hey, especially if it's an extreme kink or extreme fetish, how do you get into that side of things without that other person feeling, hurt or upset or even you being hurt or upset, right? When you go to bring it up, those are some of the fears. Yeah,
true. And I think that's what keeps a lot of people, it keeps a lot of people in the closet from talking about their kinks because they're scared of the reaction. I think, we can all comfortably agree to the, we're scared of the reaction.
Right.
But if it is brought up, which it should be, because we say the sooner the better. If it is brought up, I know I and the crew would agree that it's all in the reaction. Nothing is too crazy. Nothing is too far-fetched. So don't, we all get a little shame about feeling like we're a little weird, a little out there. We're into some stuff. But, if you're into it, I'm sure someone else is into it. So, you want to give the same respect to someone's kink as you would want the same respect to yours. So nothing is too weird in this wide world of water sports and jet skiing. Okay.
Right. Just accept the kink as it is.
Exactly. It's a vast world. And for every kink, there is a tool. You know what I'm saying? Right. But just because it's not your thing doesn't mean that person should feel bad or it should be all game off because it's something that you're not into. What do you guys think?
I definitely think that.
Well, I mean, like that just goes without saying. And I mean, I think also it depends on like the situation that you find yourself in when the conversation gets started. And I think that's what Aurora was saying, like a lot of articles kind of miss, like they'll give you a situation, they'll give you, like tips and tricks on like how you should approach the situation, but nobody ever gives you like that filler, like how to start, how to get into it, like whether it's brought up on a date casual conversation, or like even in a group setting, playing a game, never have I ever, anything like that, just getting called out in front of your friends. It's always important to stay supportive, just common sense wise. And it takes a lot to come forward and actually disclose that. So don't take it like so far left field. Don't react negatively to it. Otherwise, you're going to make that person, whether they feel ashamed of it or not, it might give them like a sense of shame, and that might keep them, a little bit more sheltered about releasing their kink. And they should be able to feel free to indulge in their kinks and, discuss their fetishes. Find a bigger community outside of like some online sources to be able to share in that with.
Yeah, I definitely think online resources are definitely a way to go. So a lot of articles put it like this, and I think it works with most situations, right? But definitely not all of them. That, here's the thing. So in some articles, it says like, hey, so thank you for telling me. I really appreciate you being honest with me about what you're into, that's how you would respond, instead of, having a shame towards the response of someone giving you their kink. So, you could say something like, hey, thank you so much for telling me. I really appreciate you being honest with me about what you're into. It's not really something that I would be willing to try, right? As it crosses some of my boundaries, and just kind of healthily tell them, hey, that's not something that I'm into, or hey, that's not something that I'm really into, or I don't want to really try, or that's a hard limit. But, it doesn't mean that I'm not into you. It doesn't mean that I don't want to, maybe explore this direction. So, it definitely sounds a little textbook to have to speak to someone like this.
That's what, based on the research, yes, that is a super blanket, stale, like, oh, thanks for sharing. That's what it kind of comes off as.
Right. Yeah.
Well, it's like when you start saying that, when you like, hey, well, thanks for, like, oh, hell.
Yeah.
Like, you already know what's coming up next.
So I think bringing up a kink, I would relate it. It's not as big of a thing, but it's a pretty big deal to come out to someone. It's just like coming out and saying, hey, I think I'm trans. Hey, I think I'm gay. Hey, I think I'm, I don't know. It's the same kind of concept. You don't know. We all are figuring things out and emerging. So like, yeah, some people are more progressive. Some people are just like, if someone brings it up, you're like, that's dope, but I'm not into it. But let's find you somebody who's into it.
Right.
That doesn't mean it's all game off though.
Well, and that brings up a good good question that I have. So like, if you're in a long-term relationship, right, and somebody responds in that manner, like, do you cut it off, or do you try and find somebody else? You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's a good question.
That, do you cut it off? Like, is that something that you do? Do you walk away from it?
Well, it depends on really how interested or how involved you are with your partner. If it's just something that's like right up front, and we talk about it all the time, like it's getting to the point where we are beating a dead horse. You're going to run into that situation where like that person that you're with is almost perfect, except they're not into your kink. And really, what does that do for your relationship? Like, how are you going to respond to that in your relationship? Or is that something you're willing to compromise on? Is that something you're willing to, set aside? Or is that something even your partner is willing to be like, hey, I'm not into it, but I'm comfortable if you go out and find somebody else who is, as long as you come back? Like, do you open it up polyamorously like that?
Right.
Or,
and that's kind of the basics. That's kind of the basics.
Right.
Well, go ahead.
Sorry, not to cut you guys off, but like, just to round it off, I think that's why we beat the dead horse so much about communicating. There are so many stale relationships and divorce rates and all this stuff because 10, 17, 35 years, 2 years down the line, you're finding out someone's into something and it makes you look at them completely different.
Right.
Or it's the relationship has been through so much that this is just the straw that breaks the camel's back, or it's just irreconcilable at this point.
Well, that's what kind of fascinates me. And like, I really enjoy stories like when you hear them, they come out on the news or whatever, about guys that have been married for like 50, 55 years, get a divorce because they say that they're gay.
Right.
It's just like, hey, I've been in love with, the gardener. I've been in love with this other person for my whole life. But I settled down and got married because that was what society expected of me. So I pushed through a 50, 40, 35-year marriage with this woman that I never really felt that strong of a connection. Not to say that they don't care or anything, but just they're not being true to themselves. And when they get to like their latter stages in life, like their twilight years, you know, so to say, it's like, well, what am I doing with my life? You know, I spent my whole time, you know, worrying about what everybody would think, that I put aside my own happiness. So screw all this. I'm in love with this guy and I'm out of here. I love those stories because it's like, it's liberating. It makes you feel good as a person to say, hey, even at 70, at 80, 65, 50, it's never too late to say, you know what? I need to love myself more.
It would be cool to see a couple. It's like your husband came out and said he wants to be a dog and he wants to be owned, but it's like, I still love you. You can have an owner. Like, we're cool. Like, you can have an owner, but this isn't 24/7 kind of thing, is it? Like, like, I think that's why we beat the dead horse, because especially for the new people watching and people who aren't in a relationship, or maybe if you're watching this with your couple, communicate. It's cool. That's why we say it that's like our new safe word, communicate. Because then, like Kane said, you're not in a stale relationship that you're like, God,
well,
really wish I could have did that.
The other add-on to that, I'm going to piggyback on that. If you communicate early, if you get everything out of the way early, okay, there's no way that you can progress in your relationship and sit there and have that other person be like, wait a second, wait, you're into what? No, I told you this at the beginning. Like, I know that we had to revisit this and have a discussion around it, but I told you this at the beginning. Like, there shouldn't be a huge surprise around this. And here's the deal, is that you get your answer one way or the other. If you open up in the beginning and communicate those things effectively in the beginning, you get your answer one way or the other. But here's the thing, you have to be prepared to hear an answer you don't want to hear. Like, if somebody's gonna fucking tell you no, you've got to be able to go, okay, and digest that and go, okay, that's that person's boundaries. And it's the same thing that we were kind of talking about just within what we're talking about tonight, right? If somebody comes to you with their kink, right? As the person receiving the kink, okay, receiving this other person's kink that you care about, you should be receptive. You shouldn't be shaming. You shouldn't be embarrassing that person, none of that, right? And as the person that's coming to and saying, hey, I'm coming out and this is what it is, you should feel comfortable in yourself enough to be able to do that and be able to get, you know, that you may not get an answer you want, you know?
Well, and that's something I actually want to talk about, because it doesn't matter how much preparation, how many articles you read, you know. One of the articles that we read about all of this was an actual sex therapist with like 30 years of experience found herself in a situation where somebody was disclosing their fetish with them and that they weren't exactly into. Years of experience, years of talking about it, first time experiencing it. And even she got stuck with like, oh, wait, wow, hold on. I know how to handle this, but in the moment, in the actual event, it's completely different. And it doesn't matter how much like care, precaution, or anything that you take, you're always going to get that one salty individual that's going to be like, oh, well, fuck you because you don't like this. And it doesn't matter how you respond. It doesn't matter, you know, how delicately, how politely, or how intricately you put that, hey, you know, I understand, thank you so much, given that whole long spiel of information that sounds like a bad breakup, you know, is part of that. And it's going to come back negatively. Sometimes it's not going to be foolproof. It won't work 100% of the time. Right. But I do want to address that, because I think that as kinksters and just as people, just, man, if I could get on a soapbox and just address humanity for a minute, can we stop acting like people who say no are the bad guy?
Right. Because that's their boundary. That's where they're not okay with. They're letting you know they're very clear in their thought process. No means a stop.
Like, quit vilifying somebody for having a, like, just saying no. Doesn't, not necessarily a negative reaction. Just saying no is okay.
Here's a mantra I live by. No is a response. It is not an emotion.
There
no
you
is
go.
Not anger. No is not hate. No is not, I don't like you. No is me saying that I do not have the capacity or bandwidth to accept or partake in what you're offering right now.
Right.
Not I hate you. I just can't.
Right.
So like, as the person who's asking, we've all been there. And as a person who's being asked, we've all been there too. Like, everybody's been on like both sides of that spectrum.
On both sides of the fence.
Whether it's, you know, within kink or just everyday life, everybody's been, you know, the ask, and everybody's been the askee. Everybody has to deal with answers that, you know, oh, okay, cool, solve all the issues, and, you know, getting that no response. And a lot of people, they take it as the negative response. Oh, well, they gave me a negative response. No, they gave you a no. You took it negatively because it didn't suit your needs. It didn't suit your preferences.
Or it
And
didn't,
so now
it
that
didn't
person's
it didn't
bad
give you
because
that
they're not.
instant gratification, because a lot of people get upset when they don't get the instant gratification that they've, oh, well, I've asked you a question. Well, I put myself vulnerably out there to you to ask you a question and you're giving me a no. So now I'm mad at you because I was vulnerable and put out a question. But your
Anger is
answer
the direct
no, I'm not willing
response
to
of not
accept
getting your way.
that. Yeah.
That's one thing I've learned. Anger is the direct response, right, wrong, or indifferent, of you not getting your way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you got to check yourself in situations like that.
Well, and it's just like you're getting pissed off because you found somebody's boundaries, and it's almost like a ship getting mad that it found land. Like, it's been there, bro. Like, it's there.
It's been there.
Boundaries are boundaries, but yet and still, when you're with someone, that foundation gets solid, and maybe, you know, you have room to open up your boundaries. You know what I'm saying? But if you know what someone's working with on either side, this is your no and this is your yes. Because I've had people be into stuff that I'm not into. But if you want to go do, it's like somebody doing drugs.
But then what is the
somebody
relationship progressing
and you
on?
don't
The idea of
partake.
it being a conquest, or the idea of, you know, an actual fruitful relationship?
Yeah. It's like someone who does something that you don't do. You do hardcore, I just smoke. So cool. You do your thing. Okay, cool, bro. It doesn't offend me too much, but some people can't even be in a room and have an interaction like that because it makes them so uncomfortable.
And that would be a great freaking conversation for us to just deep dive on intellectually, just have a conversation around why is it that people can't accept no's around boundaries? Like, this is not okay with me. Okay, so I'm telling you no, it does not mean that I don't dislike you. It does not mean that I don't want to hang out with you anymore. It doesn't mean that, you know, I've lost interest.
Here's the big one.
It means I'm not okay with, like,
this is
accepting what you're trying to offer me right now.
Combo.
For us.
Combo. Here's the most important part of it. Just because when you find a boundary, when you find no, does not mean that they're playing hard to get. That's like the biggest piece of it. Everybody's like, oh, it's a no right now, but later on it'll be a yes. No, motherfucker, it's a boundary. It's a no now, it's a no tomorrow, it's a no later. It's honestly, it's more than a no later. It's a I'm gonna be pissed if you ask me again later.
And 9 times out of 10, the no is because it's been brought up prematurely and it's not the time, it's not the situation, or even if it has, 9 times out of 10, a no is because it's just been brought up at the wrong time, the wrong place,
or brought up the wrong way. Brought up the wrong way. I mean, like, literally, there's ways to introduce your kink. There's ways to introduce the things that you want and you need within a relationship. And, you know, when there's a million different things going on, trying to drop a subtle hint, that doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? Like, wait till there's like patience and calmness and hey, can I have a conversation with you? Let's have a discussion. I need to talk. You know what I'm
honestly,
saying?
Yeah. And once you have that conversation, it's okay. It's okay to have that conversation. It's okay to indulge in it. But at the end of the day, you can't make somebody feel bad, right? On either side. You can't make somebody feel bad for bringing it up. And you can't make somebody feel bad for saying no.
Right.
And, you know, have any of you guys been in a situation where someone's kind of just released their kink on you without even a conversation? Released.
Yes.
And it's like,
yes.
And it's a slap in the face. And it
really
just
is.
It messes your whole mind up. Like, you just see some red and she's like,
wait, we didn't discuss this. What's happening? Wait.
Then your brain's fried and you can never look at that person in the light of day again.
Right. It's like, it was sexy under some neon lights, but now,
Yeah, but regardless, whether it's a fetish, a fantasy, a scenario, whatever, you don't want to guilt somebody into it, because the best way to have an experience is if it's a mutual one.
Right.
You know, like, I think we all like going into relationships, getting to know someone, but you don't want to know the filler in them. You don't want to know the representative. You want to know who they are. So even with your kinks, the quicker you get it out there, the more genuine interaction you can have with that person, because both of you guys aren't holding back and you guys have the door open and the path laid for better gratification with that person, because you guys are going to be ready to receive what each other is talking about, you know? So learning to take no for an answer is the simplest thing. Like Kane was saying, you have to get your emotions in line with your head. And if you're going to,
real quick, I got to throw this out there. I meant to do it at the beginning. But when you started talking about, you know, like crooked lids and crooked pots, it reminded me something that my grandmother used to say. And it's completely relevant.
It's story time.
No, it's completely relevant. I promise. Everybody's always heard that, you know, like there's crooked lids for crooked pots saying. Well, my grandmother always used to say, you know, like when somebody would say there's crooked lids for crooked pots, she would always say, but they never find themselves in the same cupboard.
For real.
So there is somebody out there for your kink, but you just have to find yourself in the right cupboard, you know, just put yourself in that. And speaking of, you know, the infamous Dom Kane Marcos's grandmother, I just have to throw out a very happy 57th anniversary to my grandparents today.
57 years of marriage.
It's actually on Sunday, January 30th, but I just wanted to give them a quick shout out, let them know that they've got some internet love, immortalize that, you know, strong bond that they have by putting it online forever. So happy anniversary to the best grandparents that Dom could ever ask for.
That's what communication sound like. 57 years.
Shout out.
Yes.
Where were we in the show though?
I know.
Well, getting into like a guilty conscience and everything, and just
trying to not make each other feel bad about your kinks and stuff like that, because when you communicate, then you can be together for 57 years. But even if your partner does bring up their kink and it's something that you're not into, Miss Aurora gave you some ways and some examples to politely decline.
Textbooky decline.
But you don't want to let the fact that that's something that you've never heard of or something that you've never researched or thought of. You don't want to make the fact that you heard something new from somebody that you like. You don't want to make that thought or that moment of vulnerability turn you off from them. You don't want your reaction to look like ew or ugh, because at the end of the day, nothing has changed about that person. They just became more vulnerable to you. Right. That's totally it. If they didn't do anything wrong, they didn't say anything negative, they haven't even put what they are thinking on you. They just said, hey, I kind of like this. Right. It's like saying, hey, I cut my finger. You could either look at it or say ew and go away. You could either care and tend to it. So it's like we all want our wounds to be tended to in some way, shape, or form. So you don't want to look at somebody and be like ew and just be turned off by the situation. Because honestly, at the end of the day, you cannot be into something depending on the situation and still allow that person to enjoy that.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely lots of stuff that you can do that, I mean, even if you're not into your partner's kink, you say your partner comes up to you and they're like, hey, I'm into pegging. That's a hard limit for me. I'm not into pegging. That's not something I want to do. But, you know, there might be some other things that we can play in and dabble in that cure your fetish and help you out with your fetish that I'm willing to do. And then maybe, you know, you need to evaluate how you allow your partner to explore.
Explore. You're going a mile a minute down there, King. What did you have to throw in there?
Right? Like that's why I like stop talking, because I just walked in the corner going, that's me.
Yeah, I just saw this.
So, like my mind is taking up permanent residence in the gutter for tonight. So like all of the comments and everything that's running through my head is just.
You look like a devious little child down there. Like,
oh, I know. I am. Like, like my middle school mind is just on overdrive tonight. Like,
see, that's why you in the gutter, because our next topic is not doing stuff because you feel sorry. Don't do stuff and don't make other people feel sorry. So you sit there with your mind in the gutter when somebody said no, or they talking about their pedicure. You're just like,
well, and here I'm going to open this up to the crew, because I've got a question here. Because here's I gave one example, right, of some things that you could do, right, that maybe your partner comes to you with a kink or whatever. But what are some things that you could do that maybe are kink based, maybe, and head in that direction? But you know, it's a hard limit. It's that specific kink is not something that you're willing to do. I mean, would you guys be open to trying other things? Would you, personally, this is just a personal question. I honestly
let's throw out, each of us pick one type of scenario that could happen in a relationship. Throw it out there, and how would you respond?
Okay.
All right.
So, who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay,
I'll go first.
What?
All right, so this is going to come off all bad, but let me get through it before, I start getting the hate mail. I've told a story before about, like, I got with this one chick who, like, halfway through, like, getting ready to get down says, can we bring the dogs in here? Right. And at the time, that was an extremely negative reaction on my part. I probably really hurt this person's feelings and everything. And if they're watching tonight, I still ain't into it, but you know, I really should have handled that situation better. But the way that I should have handled that situation in that scenario would have been like, hey, you know, that's not necessarily something that I've ever done before, ever tried before, or, you know, like maybe even heard of. What all does it entail? Like, what do you mean? I should have even asked for an explanation. But, you know, at the time, the way my mind was working, it was just like, oh, hell no, I had to get out.
Right. Dogs in your arms.
You came for one thing and you didn't have your mind wrapped around that. So that threw it off and you was like, ow.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
You got a situation, Miss Sasha? Give me.
Yes, I do.
Oh, you do. All right. Give me a situation, girl.
So
I feel like this one was loaded and ready to go.
Know,
like,
right?
well, yes, I do. I've got it right here.
yeah, I got a bunch of them all the time. People love just bringing weird stuff on me. See, so okay,
how to kick fire.
Yeah. So this last portion that I was touching on, like making people feel sorry for your kinks or pushing them on people to participate in. Oh, people used to love to do that to me back in the day when I was a young baby, not knowing what's going on in life. So I think, who was that? I was hanging out with somebody and they were like, oh, let's get weird. Didn't know what let's get weird meant. Didn't know. Think I was like 20, 21. Let's get weird. I'm like, okay, cool. What's weird? Think it's a nerd or something.
Right.
He was like, would you let somebody do you while I watch? I said, what? I thought we talked. Like, I don't know what you mean. What does that mean? You said you wanted to do weird stuff. Like, what do you mean? Like, he made me feel bad. Like, and I didn't know what the heck what it meant at all. So right. He didn't try to force the situation on me, but that was like a misconnection because they didn't tell me what it was, what it meant, what it looked like. And we weren't that deep. So it was like, I could have possibly had my mind wrapped around it, but I didn't know what it was. So instead of that person even being calm enough to tell me, they were just mad I wasn't into weird stuff. I thought I knew I didn't know. I'm not into weird stuff.
And that's like called something specific where it's like you open it up very broad ended and then come out with a detail later that it's like you have to read the fine print. Like, yo, you said weird. I didn't know what exactly you meant by weird. So when I agreed to weird, I agreed to like a certain standard of weird and you went above that. And now you're making me feel bad that my weird was different from your weird.
Yeah. Choking, spanking, pulling hair. That's the only thing I thought was weird because it was out of missionary. I was a baby. I know. I was 20.
Well, no, and I was like situations like that where I'm a baby, you know what I'm saying? But I was raised by a dom. So, you know, there's this mental struggle that I have, right? You know, where I'm in a committed relationship and trying to, you know, be within that committed relationship and, you know, having discussions around it. And then the fetish or the kink happens in the bedroom without any discussion, you know, like an ass smack and just like, yeah, girl, oh no, and it's like, wait, hold up, what the fuck? Oh, okay. And then they make you feel bad for it because you're in the moment and it's like, well, you ain't into this. I thought you was kinky. I thought, okay, but we didn't discuss the smacking and the flipping and the, what?
Wait, hold on. This is what?
So like
he turned into a ninja. I wasn't ready.
Right. So he had all these fetishes of like hardcore, you know, scenes. I'm not into that. I'm sorry. No, I'll do some hardcore scenes on you, but not on me. Okay. So the way I revisited that or the way that I because I was in a relationship, you know, the way that I combated that situation was by sitting there and going, okay, look, I'm not going to do that within the bedroom. Like, that's why it stopped when it did. Like, F that. No, I'm getting up. Right. But hey, let's revisit this. It's still your kink. It's still something that you know, need. It's a fetish. So let's watch porn together. Let's sit down and watch porn together. And I mean, I think that's, you know, there's different ways to bring kink into your relationship as we were talking about, right? So, I mean, obviously bringing it in early is something that we've discussed over and over and over again. I don't think we need to beat a dead horse. I mean, get the courage, find yourself,
we already have.
Know what you want and freaking, you know, speak about it early on, okay? Because otherwise you're going to get wrapped into this relationship, and then it's really, really difficult to bring up a side of you that you've been hiding, like, you know, and it's obviously something you need. So it's obviously a piece of you. Discuss it early, you know, and just be specific on what your interests are and what your desires are, what it is that you actually want to do. Like with my story, you know, we discussed it a little bit, but I didn't fine tooth it. I didn't, you know, I was young. I didn't have that whole conversation and communication around it because it just felt awkward in and of itself. So, you know what you're into, and there's ways to bring it up. Like you can use mental imagery. You can, you know, say you're watching a movie and you guys see a sexy scene. You're like, oh my God, that scene right there where she was handcuffed to the bed, babe, that was everything. Like, ooh, just, you know, so that he sees it too, so that he can understand it. So men are visual creatures, you know, most of us are. So paint a picture, you know, paint a picture of what you're into. Especially if you have an issue with talking about your kink or bringing it up in the first place, start kind of painting those mental imagery so that you can talk about it. Go ahead.
Ladies, treat your kinks like you treat them things you want from your dude or whoever. You post it online, I want. You showing them because that's what you want. You have to treat your partner the same way. Show them what you want.
Right. And just be upfront and honest with it. Like, don't hint about it, because kinks it's a different thing. It's a different beast. Don't hint about it. Talk about it. Be clear and open in your communication, because there is taboo around it. You know, you need to have those open discussions. But you know, you also need to be prepared for friction. Like, you know, we've all been saying tonight, you got to be open to receiving a no. You got to be open to receiving like that's weird. And even hearing that's weird, you know, and being okay and confident enough within yourself to hear that's weird and go, okay, well, that's weird to you, but for me, that's, you know, that's everything, and not feel bad because of somebody else's judgment around it. But you know, here's a really great idea for bringing in some kind of kink into your relationship. And I just kind of wanted to mention this because I used to work in a dungeon. Okay. And I don't think I realized this until after I was done working there. But I had one couple that would come in all the time. Right. And I thought they were coming in for kinky play. So, you know, we set up the play scene, we did the negotiations, the whole nine. It didn't occur to me till after I was way gone that maybe that couple did not come to me because they didn't really seem into me. They were more into each other and like learning almost, you know? So maybe they took that home and used that stuff at home. They used me as the teacher. So you could always refer somebody to a dom, or like if that's, you know, you're really into some serious kink, refer somebody professional, bring them in, you know, there's tantra coaches everywhere. That's something that's not so taboo. And it's a connection piece. Bring somebody in to teach you how to work those things and say, hey, babe, you want to take a class together? This would be great. But I mean, these are just some basic ideas. And, you know, the SafeWord crew gave you some of their tattoos on what happens in relationships. But we're going to move off of this tonight, because we've really been beating this dead horse with how to bring it in. If you don't know how to bring it in, connect with yourself, connect with your partner, have a conversation, communication. All right. So here's what we're going to do.
So excited about you guys like experimenting. We just want y'all to live y'all best life. You know?
We just want you guys to be able to talk and have a good, clear conversation around what you're into. Be who you are. Love yourself and let other people see who you are. It's as simple as that. So let's get back to the show here. Miss Sasha, I am so sorry, Mama. You won the game 2 weeks ago. We jumped off early last week. So Miss Sasha has a game for us tonight. You know, I got a game. Yeah, it's game time. It was my tattoo. Okay, you should have had this game last week. Okay. My bad.
It's okay.
All right.
So it's okay. There was clients waiting. Clients come first. I will take that. That's fine. But I got the game. So it's time to play Battle of the Sexes. Are we ready?
I am ready.
Let's do it.
Let's do this. Battle of the Sexes. You ready, Kane?
I got this.
I'm gonna lose.
Yeah, you know, since I had to wait, I had to make it worth the wait.
There we go. So, edging. Let's do this. We're edging this.
Now you see, this will be really interesting, because for everybody who doesn't know, I was raised by my mother, so I have a lot of, feminine knowledge from somebody who was very feminine, from the get-go. Miss Aurora was raised by a dom, and so she's got a lot of masculine, tendencies and information that she's more well versed with. So this will actually be pretty even kilter, I imagine.
No, I doubt it. I'm just sitting here like, help me, throw in a life support.
Oh God, yeah.
That's gonna be.
I think you guys will be a good head to head. This is gonna be a good head to head competition.
All right.
So how we're gonna play this is I have a bunch of statistics, and these statistics fall under different categories. Some of the categories are such as attractive parts of a man. There's a couple questions, qualities of a good man. And then we have dating, marriage. These are all statistics. So I'm going to be asking you percentiles, and whoever's closest to the percentile will win the question.
Okay. All right, cool.
Okay.
Let's do it. So how many questions?
Okay. So we're going to do 5.
Okay.
We'll do 3, maybe 2 different categories, but we'll do 5 from a category.
Total.
Okay.
Got it.
So, we'll start off with something simple. Sexy jobs for men. Okay. So what percentile, this is under 10%, what percentile do you guys think of women are into men in the legal field? And it's under 10%.
8.
Okay, 8. CJ.
In the legal field?
Yeah. What percentile of 7%. Women are attracted? Oh, just percentile in general. What percentile are into men in the legal field?
50%.
Under 10%.
Under 10.
Oh, under 10%. Oh, okay. I was like,
so it's 10 and under. That's the cap.
Okay.
None of these percentiles are over 10.
7%.
You guys both got it right. You're the closer. It was 6% of women. I was
gonna say 5. So yeah, I was like, let me up it a little bit.
Okay, so that's
I got prices righted. Damn it.
You did good. Now you got it.
You got your answer.
Okay, so this is out of 100. So 10 women were surveyed. Of what blank percentile of women are attracted to men who have a well-toned body? What out of 10 women, what percentile of women are attracted to men with well-toned bodies?
So
70.
This one's out of 100%. So 70 from CJ, okay? I mean, Kane. I'm sorry. That's my brother's nickname, so please don't. That's Brother Kane.
No, you're good.
My bad. I've said it more than one time, and I just, don't take. That's my brother's nickname. Okay.
Oh, I'm a brother.
Yes. Okay, Kane. I won't tell people that I actually think that you're okay as a person. You're.
I know, and keep up the mistake for the show.
I know. God, I let your nickname slip. Well, you keep bagging on me in my
I'm gonna say 80% to get the show back on the road.
Okay, 80% and 70%. You said 70%?
Yes.
Brother Kane?
Yeah.
Brother Kane got it.
Okay, yeah. I was like, after he got that, I was like, there's no way. He shot that out way too quick.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to go into the ladies department now. Gifts women like to get. Brother Kane, since you already know. Yeah, you'll be good at this one. So out of 150 women surveyed, about what percentile said that they want to get perfume? What percentile out of 150 women said they want to get perfume?
17%.
30.
17. Aurora, you got it. It was 31%.
I didn't think that was gonna be as high. Like you surveyed some women in their 30s and older.
Hey, Valentine's Day is coming up. Miss Sasha and Miss Aurora need perfume. Okay, check the Amazon wish list. All right,
that's why we're talking about 9 gifts women like to get. Okay, so no one wants that. Okay, so what percentile of women said that they want skincare products like facial serums, stuff 20%. Like that? What? 17%.
Maybe 16.
It's 17%.
Damn. Okay. All right. I was close though.
You were. You guys
I was
were
close,
close.
though. I was
It's
like
literally
20%.
17.
I shot that out
It's
first.
17.8%, and he got 17%. Okay.
Just because I already know jewelry is number one. Like that's across like surveys all over the place. And I don't ever remember hearing skincare products, anti-aging cream. Try to get your chick some anti-aging cream for Valentine's Day. I can dare you.
I would love it because I know mine
That's
is
like
expensive,
that's
baby.
like giving her
my
a
eye
gym
cream is
membership
$70.
for
That's just eye cream. One of my little face washes, $15, and it's this big. Child, give me $1,000 to Sephora. I'll look like a fetus playing with me.
I look like a fetus.
Playing with me. I'll take it.
damn.
Benjamin Button on your
No,
ass.
hang on.
He said, fuck the 10-year age reversal. I'm going back to being a fucking fetus. All right.
$1,000 to Ulta, and it's like I can get 8 of them tubes. That's like 10 years compounded. That's 80 years. I'm gonna look good.
Trying to be a vampire in this thing, man. Okay. Okay. What percentile of people want to receive something on Valentine's Day? Not men, not women. What percentile of people want to receive something on Valentine's Day?
I'll let Aurora go first.
I heard hers.
What was it?
70.
Want to receive something? I would say that's like 91%.
You guys are both close. It was 80%. So you guys both get that one.
Aurora was closer. I went 91. I was 11 off.
You guys are close. Kane, you're only up by 1. Okay. Let's go to. Okay, no more men. Okay.
No more.
Okay,
men.
7 things that impress a woman.
Screw men.
7 things that impress a woman. Okay. Blank percent of UK's population admitted to dating someone solely because they can play guitar.
Wait, women dated men.
What percentile
Okay. All right.
of the UK's population admitted to dating someone simply because they could play like a musical instrument or something like that?
65%.
85%.
Y'all both wrong. It was 25%.
Strumming
Okay.
the bass. Slapping
Okay,
the bass.
What percentile are into what percentile of women are attracted to male athletes?
Oh God. 17%.
70.
I don't know.
And you're close.
Yeah, I was like,
It's
it's either really
76%.
high or really low. I'm gonna go with the low end.
Girl, hi. Athletes. Athletes. Come on.
So, for those of you
Athletes
who
are
don't
problems.
know,
Girls, athletes are problems.
I'm gonna let you know.
Not
Right,
all of them.
I'm gonna let you know right now. Like the way my physique is set up, like when I was killing it in the gym, even when I was like
Hey, I'm
hardcore
set
in the
up,
gym, like a 6-pack ain't in the cards for me. Like I get that power keg. I don't get a 6-pack. I get a power keg.
Shut up.
I don't get that kind
I
of
can't.
definition.
There are some guys, they literally only get a power keg because their bodies just won't contract. It's just a smooth ab. It's one
Well,
dolphin like
Like,
ab.
I don't got abs, I got
it's like
abs.
Jamie Foxx in that football movie. Do you guys remember that? Like a couple years back, Jamie Foxx came out as like a football star playing in Miami or whatever. And like the whole time, I'm like, is he bloated? Is he pregnant? No, that's just one solid ab. Like
Some people have it. See, I have the reverse. I have abs, it's like cut out, but I call them biscuit abs because I'm a little soft. So I'm like, up one ab, there's another one. And it's not like I have a stomach. It's just like it's a soft indent of where my ab is. It's like it's an ab biscuit, you know?
I like it.
So,
ab biscuit.
It's an ab
Hashtag
biscuit.
that.
Like
Hashtag that.
so, like my shoulders. Everybody like when I was hardcore in the gym and everything, everybody be like, "Oh man, this guy's got broad shoulders. I bet you he's got like 6-pack abs or something." Because the way my shirts would fall, like you couldn't see. I didn't have a pudge or anything. But then I take my shirt off and be like, "Oh, he doesn't have a 6-pack." Like really? That's where you're gonna draw the line. That's where you're gonna cut it off.
No, for
Like
real.
everything
like,
else was fine until then. Like, all right, cool. I
like
guess.
no joke, I filmed these guys. Okay. One of the things that I point out with Kane in my editing, if you guys watch my videos, is the wingspan, the shoulder wingspan. It's massive. Okay, so like I there's pan views of the shoulder wingspan. Okay, and then the hair. So you know,
Everybody got something.
Yep. With Miss Sasha, go ahead and watch our BDSM play party one because
Oh yeah, that was good.
ass is
That was
out in the
good.
mall. Ass is out in the
It was
mall.
cakes. Cakes. It was.
Cakes.
It was everybody's birthday then.
Man.
Yes, it was. Oh, I was editing. I was like, it's
everybody's
my
birthday that day.
birthday. It's my birthday. You shake it to the left, girl. Walk it.
Yes, you know.
I was like, slow-mo this shit. It's my own private little thing.
I mean, you know, it's about embracing who you are. I learned so much about myself and like embrace so much about myself doing the show and press my boundaries. So like whoever my husband
love
is,
it.
if
That's
you're
just
here,
fucking sick.
you're going to be a blessed person.
Yes.
You're going to be blessed beyond measure. Okay. Anyways, okay. So let me give you guys a couple more. And this, did you move me? Okay.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
okay.
my page
I'm
jumped.
like,
Sorry. I was like, did you move me? Sorry.
I didn't touch anything. I'm waiting for the question.
Yeah, we're point shaving.
No, we're not. Okay.
So
So
you ain't running this game. Win
No.
something.
no.
I made the computer jump.
Okay. We're at 5-3. Aurora, you can come back. Okay. Okay. What makes a man attractive? Here's where we're at, CJ. I'm sorry. I keep calling you your nickname, brother.
Your brother's on your mind. Your brother's talking about you. You need to call your brother.
Because you're giving me a hard time. That's why. You always give me
need
a
to call
hard
your brother
time.
after this. Be like, hey man, I kept saying your name. Like you were speaking about me. You were
during the
talking
live.
about me, weren't
Are
you?
you good?
Yeah.
Like
Make
you're going through
my
some childhood
inner
stories. Tell your friends I ain't as bad as you say I was.
That part right there. Okay. So what makes a man attractive? So blank % said a disheveled appearance in a man is a turn off. What percentile said a disheveled man is a turn off?
There's a shovel man as a turn off. A percentage.
Yeah, no shave, no trim, no lineup. What percentile?
75%.
Damn it.
What did you say?
I'll go
Okay.
85.
Aurora got it. You guys actually both got it because you're close. I'm trying to help Miss Aurora win, but it was. I'm trying to help me.
Yeah,
It was 71% that were
Just like
into
Sasha
a
said in the beginning, fuck dudes.
Girl power.
You know,
we gotta get
be
you
up in
another
this thing.
guy. If you those audition flyers went out. Why is nobody sending in videos?
What's that
we
voice?
need
Like,
you guys
what
on
are
the
you
show to
doing?
bounce
Like,
out.
is that Jiminy Cricket whispering in your ear? Or?
Yeah, just buy the audition flyers went out. Send in your videos.
Okay, 6-4. So, do we need one more question or two more to count this off?
Let's
Okay.
make the next one worth 3.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's do it like
sounds
that.
good.
Let's do it
Oh,
like
this
that.
is perfect then. Great question to end it off.
Jeez.
What percentile of women do not like talkative men?
99.
80%.
Both of y'all got that one wrong. It was 20%.
I'm like, shut the
Where
fuck
are
up
those
and sit there.
80% women? Like, where are they at? Because
That's what I said.
I get shit in the comments. Like, tell that dude to shut the fuck up.
Right. And for me, I
they
was like,
think he's a misogynist.
I ain't never
butthole.
heard anybody in the comments just like, I just love when King goes on and on and on. I've never in my life heard a woman say, tell me another story. Like, never
Yes,
have
we
I
do.
ever. Like, where are them 80 at? Like, I just keep running into 20s.
Don't be going in like that. No one said that you need to like air out our secrets like that.
Like,
listen, for me though, like I answered that purely and solely off a personal basis. Shut the fuck up. Sit there and look pretty. Shut the fuck up. Sit there and look pretty.
there was a time when men used to be strong and stoic. Get there again, because goddamn, even as another dude, sometimes it's just you a lot, man. You a lot. You a textbook. You a math textbook.
Too much.
You got a lot of
Too
problems.
much.
I think
know
I'm too
Sasha
much
has something to
sometimes.
say that on that. No, wait, hold up. I know Sasha got something to say on this.
No, I said I think I'm too much sometimes talking, let alone.
No,
What?
I'm gonna put you on pause. I'm gonna put you on pause. Both of us are in this dating world. Okay.
Oh.
I'm talking about them motherfuckers that come up in your fucking inbox and tell you their last story, who they divorced, who they fucking, the kids, the troubles, the car troubles, the flat tire, the fucking. And I said, hi, how are you?
Let it go. Don't want to hear that shit no more. No.
I'm just gonna put this out. I'm just gonna put this out there right now. If you're one of them dudes who are like, you have to let your lady know that you've got a flat tire, or even just your genuine love interest that you got a flat tire, what is you expecting them to do? Like, are they supposed to show up and AAA your shit for you because you don't know how to loosen a lug nut? That is the most embarrassing damn thing ever. Ever. I locked my keys in my truck one time. Called AAA. A chick showed up and she was just like looking at me with a hanger. Like, you don't got a hanger? Like, what do I look like? Like, I don't know. Like,
emasculated your ass.
That's me. That is me. I'm like, what are you good for? If you don't get up out of here.
And you know what the worst part of it was? She was there for about 3 minutes and she said, I'm not going to charge you. I was like, fuck.
You like, need it more than me.
At least, like, damn it.
Nah, keep it. You need it more than me, bro. Oh my God, that really hit me in the gut. Like, nah, bro, you need it. You keep it.
Oh my God.
You know what? I'll give you a tip, bro. I'm gonna send you a YouTube video that's gonna show you how to get in your car.
No, but so just in my pure defense, that was purely personal. Shut the fuck up and just sit there and look party.
Let's go back to the time where, like, I know I grew up hearing, like, keep it in some, like, chill out.
Right.
Ride the reins back a little bit and then, you know, progress into that. So, like, even as a woman, I've been kind of programmed to, like, let the conversation naturally progress and don't overtalk somebody's ear.
Right. Don't tell them your life story first.
No, especially with dating. I feel like the role reversals, totally different subject. We'll take it out on this note, but I feel like the role reversals have changed so much to where, like, men are overshare. I don't know if that's a ploy to make people feel comfortable, but overshare. And it's like, no, I'm just like, bruh, like,
look.
No, fuck that. Your last generation, your mamas and grandmamas were sitting there saying they wished men would talk a little bit more, discuss their feelings, be a little bit more open.
We're not gonna cut you off on that.
Didn't know where to stop. Men didn't know where to stop. Okay, I'll put that out there as a man.
Hold up. That does not mean that you can give us your life history and where you.
Oh, I'm not saying it does. I'm not saying it does.
I don't care.
Okay, I see where you're coming from. Yes, open up, tell me some stuff, but in like that's like months in. That's like comfortability, you know, but not like first, second time you're interacting or face to face your first time and you've heard of a divorce. All this.
And here's the thing, I don't think that Kane, because Kane, here's the deal. This is why he's on the show. Okay, he's a dom of a dom of a dom. Okay, so I don't think that he would really honestly go on to a dating app and then divulge his life information about something within one text message. Like, hi, how are you? Okay, let me tell you. Like, I don't think that's something that he would do. But there are a lot of men out there that do these things. And it's like, where do you expect us to go from there? Like, go, okay, well, now I know everything. We ain't got to go to dinner.
No, don't want it. Need to ease into it. No. See?
Okay, so Miss Sasha, who won that game?
Mr. Kane Juan, since I've been calling him CJ or not, Mr. Kane Juan, brother, Kane Juan. You won. Kane Juan.
Don't make that stick. Don't make that a thing.
Kane Juan. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hey, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you have the game for next week.
Yay!
And with that, can you take us out, Kane?
Yeah, I got you. I'm tonight's big winner, everybody. So say congrats. Yeah, woohoo. Run the banner. Tap the keg, run the banner. We're throwing it out tonight. We're getting down. All right. So it's Friday night. We know you guys got better places to be. We don't understand why, because this is the best place to be. But if you want to hit the club and go try out some of the new information we gave you, you know, just if you're a guy and you just like, damn, maybe I am talking too much in the club on Fridays. Shut your mouth and see how it works for you. You know, like, just let us know. Drop it in the comments. But as always, tonight is brought to you in association with Support District Radio Network Uncut and Support District Television. They're the ones giving SafeWord the shot, so we're going to give them a shout out. We appreciate you guys joining us tonight. We hope you enjoyed the content that we bring. And if you had some questions that maybe we didn't get to or maybe didn't answer to your satisfaction, drop us a DM, comment below, and we'll talk about it. So without further ado, thank you so much for joining us. We will catch you guys later. All right. And then we're all going to do the sexy pose.
Yes. Give me like 3 or 4 sexy poses. We're just gonna hit this here. Now I'm gonna tell you guys why we're doing this in a minute. Because YouTube has been cutting my shit short. I press stop and we don't even get through the association and brought to you by who knows why. But so we're sitting here looking cute for you. Hey, Kate, I need like a smile or something. I need you to hold it still. Because I pulled from this for our thumbnails for you guys, okay? All right, that's it for tonight. We love you. Tune in next Friday. Make sure that you're paying attention because next Friday is going to be good. There's an interview coming.
Yes.
Pay attention to your feeds. Pay attention to your social media outlets.